Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Sri Gurum Tam Natosmi. So, this is the Purnima, the Kartik Purnima. So we have now completed our month of Kartik observance. And this is also the day of Sri Krishna's Rasa Yatra. So, what is the significance of Rasa Leela? Srimad Bhagavatam culminates in Rasa Panchadhyayi, 5 chapters describing the Rasa dance. So, what is the position of the gopis? Oh, this is such a high thing to understand. Mahaprabhu has done such high things. And Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati has summarized in Sri Chaitanya Matamanjusha. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesh Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachadupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Ya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumarto Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhor Matamidam Tatradaro Napara. These are the things which we hold in highest regard. Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, is our worshipable deity. And what is the best? His dham is Vrindavan Dham. It is not Krishna in Dwarka, Krishna in Mathura, Krishna in anywhere else, but Krishna in Vrindavan Dham. What is Vrindavan Dham? Srila Gurudev explained it once very simply, and I like simple explanations because I am, after all, a simple person. He said, if you have 1 cup of salt, because I asked him a question, I said, Gurudev, how is it that there is so much everything Aishwarya in Sri Vrindavan Dham, but Aishwarya is covered in Vrindavan Dham? He said, he gave the example. If you have 1 cup sugar, 1 cup salt, you will taste, oh, this is salty, but little sweetness is there too. But if you have 1,000 cups of sugar and 2 cups of salt, and more salt is there, will you taste any salt? No, only sweetness. That is Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan Dham is the abode of sweetness. And the sweetness is such that we do not even know 1 grain of the sweetness of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Even the value of 1 grain of dust is worth more than all the value of this world. It is Chintamani Dham. But we have no darshan of that Dham. So, Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajeshatanya Sadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachadupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Yakalpita. What have the gopis done? This is the most pleasing mode of worship. What does it mean, Vrajavadhu? Especially it means not just gopis, but those gopis who are Kaya Vyuha of Srimati Radhika, and especially Srimati Radhika herself. This is the most pleasing. How Krishna is our worshipable deity, but we are aspiring to become maidservants of Srimati Radharani. Does it mean that Krishna is not our Ishtadev? Well, he is, but we only serve that person who gives the most pleasure to Sri Krishna. She is Krishna's Hladini Shakti. She is Devi Krishnamayi Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mayi Sarva Kanta Sammohini Smrita. She is Krishna within and without. Everything is Krishna. And Krishna is so much attracted by Kishori Ji's love for him. Krishna wants to taste. And so this thing, this prema that exists within the heart of Srimati of Mahabhava Swarupini Shri Radha. Why do we say Mahabhava Swarupini? Because Prem is manifest in stages, Sneha, Man, Rag, Anurag, and finally Bhav, Mahabhav. So sometimes there is confusion. Someone will ask, why do we say Rati when we are talking about Adav, Shraddha, Tatat Sadhu Sango, Tabhajana Kriya, Tato Narta Nirvati Syat, Tato Nishta Ruchistada, Tata Saktis, Tato Bhava, Tata Prema Bhudanshati. Why don't we say Bhav? Because Bhav is also just before Mahabhav in the Prema Bhakti stage. Prema Bhakti has waves and waves and waves. I was with Gurudev, and it was just myself and Mukunda Prabhu and Gurudev and Madhav Maharaj and Pundarik Prabhu. And we were on the beach. We went for a walk in Virginia Beach, and Gurudev said there was one devotee in Jagannath Puri who would sit and he was chanting and he was counting the waves. Sneha, Man, Rag, Pranaya, and so forth. He was counting the waves of the ocean according to these waves of the Mahabhav. And within Mahabhava Swarupini, so Srimati Radhika is called the embodiment of Mahabhav. Mahabhav is only found within the heart of Srimati Radhika and in those gopis who are her Kaya view. And furthermore, there is Adiruddha Mahabhav. And higher, these things which only are found in Srimati Radhika, and this is what Mahaprabhu, Krishna, had to borrow the Kanti and Bhav of Vrishabhanu Nandini Sri Radha. Otherwise, he could not taste, he could not experience. Krishna is not able to experience the heights. Sri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrisho Vanayaiva. What is the height of the love of Srimati Radhika? What is the height of her pranaya? It is something we have no concept of. Now this is such a very important thing because Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless Praman. I will tell another story. We sat in a Virginia Department of Transportation rest stop. It was the day after I met Gurudev for the first time. He said, what is the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam? I said, I will show that I know it. Janmadyasya yaton vayaditadatascharateshva vidyasvarat. And I rattled the whole thing off. Then Gurudev said, now what does it mean? And so I stumbled through the meaning. And then Gurudev explained the whole verse according to the meaning of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Janma adi asya yataha. It is about that person from whom adi rasa comes. What is adi rasa? It is madhurya rasa. So there are qualities, like there is in earth qualities of water, fire, air, space. And so earth has qualities of all Panchamahabhutas. In Madhurya Ras, there are properties of all the Vatsalya, Sakya, Dasya, Shanta, everything. This is Adiras. And who is the origin of Adiras? If there is no Vrishabhanu Nandini, there is no Adiras, there is no Madhurya Ras. Why is this relevant to today for the Kartik Purnima? Because month of Kartik is for Urja Vrat. And Adhishtatri Devata of Kartik month is directly Kishori Ji Vrishabhanu Nandini Shri Radha. And so, why is Shri Radha our supremely worshipable deity? That person whose service we aspire for. What is Prema Pumarto Mahan? It is the great goal, the ultimate goal. So Prem, this is the topic. And Srimati Radhika, she is the embodiment of the most condensed form of Prem as Mahabhav, Mahabhava Swarupini, Sri Radha. That is why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sometimes called Rasaraj Mahabhav. Why? Why do we say Rasaraj Mahabhav? Because Sri Krishna is Rasaraj. He is Rasika Shekara, Rasika Shiromani, the supreme taster of Ras. But who is Raseshwari? Ramya Raseshwari Radha. Who is that person when she will leave the Rasa dance? Boom. It has stopped. Full stop. No rasa is going on. Oh, Krishna then has to go searching for her. And then gopis are saying, oh, where is Krishna? They are singing Gopi Gita. They are wandering. They are weeping. They are saying, where is Krishna? They are saying that Jayati Thedikam Janmana Vraja Shrayata Indira Shashvadatrahi Dayata Drishyatam Dikshutavakas Tvaidhritasavas Tvam Vichinvate. Oh my dear Krishna, you have come in this land of Vrindavan, and it appears as if the goddess of fortune is herself residing here. There is another side of meaning to this as well. And now you hold our lives. Our lives are in you. You have taken our hearts. We have only come to collect them. So we can only think about you. We have no choice because you are that person who has come and stolen our hearts. That is the position of the gopis. So, all of our Gaudiya Vaishnava Tattva Siddhant is aimed at this one thing, Premat Pumartham Mahan. Nowadays, there are many, many misconceptions. So people will say some speculation. They will say, oh, we should make our own ideas. We should read Srila Prabhupada's books and write new things because we have now realized new and new and new. We must do bhakti in anugatya. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavata Shravana, Shri Maturavasa, Shri Murtir, Shraddhaya Sevan. We must, because if we do not do Kirtan, if we do not do Shravanam, if we do not do Smaranam, if we do not do Archanam, even if we are going and doing Harinam Sankirtan, we must do it in Anugatya. One devotee was asking me, he said, in the Srila Pujyapad Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he has quoted something from Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. If there is a Nama Sankirtan party, it must be led by Shuddha Bhaktas. So he was saying, how are we to do this? If I have told devotees this and they say, oh, then what shall we do? Shall we stop doing? No. But you must do in Anugatya. You do not make a concoction and say, let's make it different and make it more spicy and put dancing girls in front so more people will be attracted. No. Go to the pure devotee. That person who is completely absorbed in bhajan that we can take shelter of. And you should ask that person, how should we do Nama Sankirtan? What is our mood in doing Nama Sankirtan? How did Mahaprabhu and his associates do Nama Sankirtan? If we are not in Anugatya, and this Sadhu Sangha, Anugatya, these are such core principles. You don't have to learn 100 different books from cover to cover, front to back, and all these things, and know 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 verses. You have to know Sadhu Sangha, Anugatya, and Sadhu Sangha. And did I mention Sadhu Sangha? We must hear Bhagavata Sthane, Bhagavata Pade. We should study Srimad Bhagavatam under the guidance of a pure devotee. So, Acharya Vara, our Gurupad Padma, has given so many books and so many lectures and so much confidential guidance to help correct all of these misconceptions. What is Raganuga Bhakti? What is Vaidhi Bhakti? What is Prema? And even now, there is the misconception, oh, I will get Prema in this life? Is it possible? No. Why? Why is it not possible? Someone can tell me why we cannot have Prema in this life.
You have to at least come to the stage of, what is it? You have to at least come to the stage of something before you...
Rati or Bhav, yes.
Yeah.
What is Rati, what is Bhav called? It is called the Haribo. Prema Ankura, the sprout of Prem. It is like, also it has been said like the flower. This book, Madhurya Kadambini, it is actually quite amazing. There are some books that are very essential. We can say Jaiva Dharma is essential, but it is a lot of reading. It is a lot of Tattva Siddhant as well as Rasa Siddhant. But in this book, in Bhakti Tattva is very short, but it gives a lot of very essential understanding of bhakti. We should read this. And Madhurya Kadambini is basically the Vyakya. You know, Vyakya, the expanded understanding of Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sango Atabhajana Kriya Tato Narta Nivrittisya Tato Nishta Ruchistada. There are 8 showers of nectar in Madhurya Kadambini, and they go through every stage and explaining every stage and all the things that are happening. Why? Why is this Adav Shraddha Tata? Why is it important to us?
We should know where we are so that we can know where we're going.
Yes, it is our roadmap. It is our directions. Okay, I'm going from LA to New York City. Gurudev used this example once. He said, if you are going from, we were in LA at the time, in Venice Beach. So he said, on the beach. He said, if you are going from Los Angeles to New York, should you first know which direction you are going? He was speaking about the need to understand prayojan. What is the goal? And what is the goal? What is the goal of Krishna consciousness?
Krishna Prem and...
It is, yes, it is Radha Dasyam, which is only possible in the stage of Prem in Krishna Bhakti Rasa. Krishna Bhakti Rasa is in the stage of Prem. So there is a whole world. We want to come to the stage of Rati. You know, sadhana is divided in 2 stages. What are the 2 stages, big stages of sadhana?
Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti.
Those are 2 alternative paths. In Raganuga Bhakti sadhana, there are 2 stages. What are the 2 stages?
Jata Ruchi and Anjata Ruchi.
Yes, Ajata or Ajata Rati and Jata Rati. And Gurudev has said also that actual sadhana begins at the stage of Rati. What is the symptom of Rati? After the devotee has gone through Anartha Nivritti, so we are mostly in Anartha Nivritti, we are chanting as much as possible, we are trying to absorb ourselves and just chant and remember Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And all kinds of crap is boiling up and we're just saying, oh, please let that be taken away and please let me continue so that I can come to the stage of Nishta. In Nishta stage, it is like lines and stone. I am getting up, I am chanting. It's no hot and cold There is one stage described by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It is called Ghanatarla. Does anyone know what is Ghanatarla? It means thick and thin, or hot and cold, like not steady, very unsteady. Utsahamayi. In the beginning, we are like, oh yes, I will do chant, I will go on parikrama, and very quickly, in 3 or 5 days, I will have prem. Very good. But this doesn't last also. It is good. And if we will have some taste for hearing and for chanting and remembering, that is very good. So, then Nishta, and then comes Ruchi. Oh, there is awakening of some taste now. It is not just I am forcing. Syat Krishna Nama Chaditadi Satapya Vidyapit Topatapta Rasanasya Narochikanu Kintu Adarad Anudanam Kalusaiva Jushta Swadvi Karamad Bhavatitad Gadamula Hantri. This is from Sri Upadeshamrita. Srila Rupa Goswami has said, Krishna's name, form, pastimes, everything is so sweet. We have no idea. Our hearts are very hard. Otherwise, if we heard anything about the sweetness of Krishna's pastimes, our hearts would melt. We would not be able to keep it together. We would, like, there was when Mahaprabhu told Sri Gadadhar Pandit to hear Bhagavatam from Sri Pundarika Vidyanidhi. Who is Pundarik Vidyanidhi in Krishna Lila? Yes. So, Gadadhar Pandit went there and he saw that Pundarik Vidyanidhi is wearing very nice fancy clothes and silk turban, and he has a spittoon there, he is chewing pan, and he is sitting there like a big enjoyer. And Gadadhar Pandit was wondering, oh, what is this? I am to learn from this person. So he asked Mahaprabhu, I have this doubt. Mahaprabhu said, go and tell to him that verse, Aho Bakiyam Stanakalakutam. And this is the verse where Sri Shukadev Goswami is saying, oh, who can be more merciful than Sri Krishna? He has taken that Putana who came, Jagam Surapaya Yanaptya Sadhvi, who came with very evil intent to kill him with poison smeared on her breast. And he gave her a position like that of his nursemaid. Oh, who can be more merciful? So when Gadadhar Pandit went and recited this verse, immediately this turban fell from Pundarik Vidyanidhi's head, and he was shedding tears and shaking in ecstasy, and hairs were standing on end. And so Shri Gadadhar Pandit understood, this is why Mahaprabhu has sent me here. So one must hear Srimad Bhagavatam from the person Bhagavat. Now this is another thing. Many people nowadays will say, oh, we are Prabhupada-anugas. We only want to hear from Prabhupada. And we have collected all of Prabhupada's sayings. That is very good. Prabhupada is an associate of Sri Radha Krishna. He came from Goloka Vrindavan. He came with prem in his heart. Oh, this is a contradiction. How anyone can have prem in their heart? How is it possible? Someone can tell me? How? We just said prem cannot exist in this life. So how can someone come who has prem in their heart? Because he came from Golok Vrindavan, yes. He came from Golok Vrindavan. And those persons who are already have prem in their heart, they sometimes come to this world because Vrindavanasina Hitavatara Prasida Radha Pranaya Prachara. This is one prayer to Gurudev. So he came and he gave so many instructions according to time, place, and circumstance. But one thing he emphasized over and over and over again, one of the most quoted verses everywhere in Srila Prabhupada's books, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadyanavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama. At the same time, he was cutting Mayavadis are nonsense, fools, rascals, number one. Kick on their face with boots and drive them out. Because if you keep these other nonsense things, it is like saying, oh, I want to have very, very sweet flowers and very sweet garden of flowers, but there is a big open sewer pit. Let's have the open sewer pit here and also have a very sweet garden of very nice fragrant flowers. Is it possible? You're going to smell one thing. It's not going to be the flowers. So get that sewer pit out. Get the smell of materialism, of pratishta, of desire for fame and prestige and sense enjoyment and criticism of others. Gurudev used to say, 3 C's. Don't complain, don't criticize, only chant. This is what we have to do because there's no place for these things. So Srila Prabhupada was so strong in these things, but he emphasized sadhu sangha. How did he emphasize sadhu sangha? On one level, he told, stay in the association, stay in the society of devotees, always stay in association of devotees, don't leave. But what was another level of sadhu sangha that he emphasized? Something he wanted all devotees to do every year.
Come on, Parikama.
Go
In Vrindavan with him.
To hear from him.
In person.
In person. In Vrindavan Dham, Mayapur Dham. Why? Because that is his sadhu sangha. He has in his heart prem. If you are hearing from the pure devotee who is we should hear at least from that person who has madhyam adhikar. We should aspire for that person who is uttam adhikari. And if we can have association of that person who is the premi bhakta, who has descended and who is giving their kata, it will have such an effect. Where is this stated? Devahuti Kapila Dev has said in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Satam prasangan mamavirya sambido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana kata tajjoshanadashvapavarga vartmani shraddharatir bhaktir anukramishyati. Now this, how much is in this one verse? Gurudev has explained this verse in detail. Satam prasangan. It means I am not just going in satsanga. Oh, there is some satsanga, some person is going and speaking and I will hear. No, but sadhu, very high class of sadhu, like Narada Muni, Shukadev Goswami, that kind of caliber of sadhu is speaking. Mama virya sambido. My potency, which has samvit shakti. It can also be understood, virya samvit means that there is the shakti, which is Srimati Radhika, and also Adhishtatri Devata of samvit shakti, who is Sri Krishna. Bhavanti hrit karna rasayana kata. That harikata which is full of ras, and it is a rasayana. A rasayana means that which is rejuvenates. It gives us new life. It revitalizes us. A tonic. Tajjoshanad ashu. That will very quickly cut all of our knots of attachment. Have we experienced that we will go and meet with a pure devotee, and pure devotee will just speak something? The Gurudev will say, oh, Krishna was sitting on the lap of Yashoda Maya, and Krishna wanted to drink the breast milk of Yashoda Maya. What is the breast milk of Yashoda Maya? It is not any ordinary milk. It is Vatsalya Prem in liquid form. And Krishna has unlimited appetite. And we will hear these things, how Gurudev is describing Damodar Lila, and something pierces the heart. If we will come, not like the persons who would come and they will say, let's try to find a fault. But the persons who will come and say, I want to hear. Oh Krishna, please let me hear something, let me be blessed. And something will come in the ear and it will touch the heart. What is it that happens? Oh my God. Now I understand. This is what it means. Satam prasangan mama virya samvedo. Some virya samvedo. It also means the potency to wake us up. And now I have come to feel, oh, my purpose in life is to come to the stage of prem. Bhavanti Hritkarna, and so pleasing to the ear, so pleasing to the heart, so beautiful. Tajjoshanan Ashu, Apavarga Vartmani. Oh, and that Apavarga, you know, material world is 5 things: Parisharama, Pena, Bhyartita, Bhaya, and Mrityu. This is called Pavarga, Papapabama in Sanskrit, right? That's what Pavarga means. Apavarga, path to liberation. Oh, Ashu Apavarga, like, boom, the mukti becomes very quickly a chain crossing over all of these miseries of the material world. Parishrama, very hard work, working like a donkey. Pena, foaming at the mouth from such hard work. Bhyartita, always being disturbed. Bhaya, fear, oh my God, what's going to get me now? And mrityu, death. But we cross over all these things very quickly, hearing Harikatha, hearing from the pure devotee. Tajjoshanat ashu apavarga vartmani, shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramishati. What does it mean? Shraddha. First, paramartik shraddha comes in the heart of the sadhak in association with pure devotees. Then, rati. What is rati? Rati is this stage where we have come nishta, and then asakti, we get some attachment, and then ruchi, and finally rati. This is the flower of prem. This is as far as we can come in this body. This is as far as the sadhak can come. Now we are in the stage of Jatarati sadhana. And in this stage, what happens? There is something called Vishuddha Sattva. Vishuddha Sattva is when there is a mixture of 2 things. What 2 things have mixed to become Vishuddha Sattva? Yes, Samvit Shakti and Hladini Shakti. Mixed together is Vishuddha Sattva. And this comes, who is the Adhishtatri Devata of Samvit Shakti? Sri Krishna. And Adhishtatri Devata of Hladini Shakti? Vrishabhanu Nandini Sri Radha. And it has come from Golok Vrindavan, and when it touches the heart of the sadhak, what happens? Ashta Satvik Bhav. Why Ashta Satvik Bhav? Yes, can anyone tell? There are Pancha Mahabhut, earth, water, fire, air, space in our body. And also mind, intelligence, ego. They all become transformed. So Vishuddha Sattva, which has come from Golok Vrindavan and touched in the heart of the sadhak, now in the touching the earth element, there is trembling. Touching the air element, hairs stand on end. Touching water element, torrents of tears come shooting out of the eyes. Touching the fire element, there is faltering of the voice. This is not something that anyone can fake. Now, someone who is the advanced devotee, they will hide these things. Nobody will exhibit these things directly when devotee initially achieves the stage of rati. So, Kapila Dev has said, Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukramishati. What can be bhakti that comes after rati? Only one thing comes after rati. That is prem. So, this is also one praman. Someone was asking, they said, I have never heard before that in this body, prem cannot be contained. It is actually here directly, Madhurya Kadambini, 8th shower, verse 5. This is where it is said directly. Although we have heard from Gurudev so many times, right? Now, this flower, the Premankura, the sprout, the flower of Prem, it will come out of the material world and take shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. And now what fruit does that flower bear? It gives the fruit of Prem. And this is also in Srila Prabhupada's Nectar of Devotion. He also describes this. But, I read this, I didn't understand it. And Gurudev explained it, and now it is very clear. So, these are things to consider. Of course, now we're speaking so much about Bhakti Tattva, but it is actually such a sweet thing. And this now, in Prem, there is the exchange of Bhakti Rasa. Now, there is the exchange of Rasa. So it is kind of like we are a blind person, and suddenly we are seeing everything in Technicolor. So, we also can sing these kirtans. Like, there is one kirtan of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Kabe navadvipe suradhuni tate ha Radhe ha Krishna bolo. Oh, when will I be in Navadvip Dham, on the bank of the Ganga, and saying, Ha Radhe, Ha Krishna, I will give up my body, and then I will take my birth in Yavat, and I will get my residence, I will have my name, Guru Saki will take me in her hand, and she will give me service to Vrishabhanu Nandini Sri Radha. Oh, we relish this, we aspire it. It is like that jewel, like there is a person, and we must keep agreed. So this comes back to the question, why we have done the Kartik Vrat. It is one thing, we want to have prem, we want to have lalyam, to have greed. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatam yadi kutopi labhyate tatra lalyam api mulyam ekalam janma koti sukritair na labhyate. You can do sukriti. You can go on parikrama by yourself. You can read books by yourself. You can do Harinam Sankirtan, get dressed up and go on Harinam Sankirtan and do all kinds of things without anugatya, and this will give you sukriti. It is very good. You can offer prasad, and you can take prasad, distribute prasad. These are good things. Not bad, good things. But 10 million births, and if you have no greed, if you do not have anugatya, if you do not have sadhu sangha, you cannot have this. When we say Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati, it is talking about prem, nothing else. What this verse was used to coin a phrase. What was the phrase? Huh?
Krishna, where is Krishna?
Krishna consciousness. Yes, Krishna consciousness. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes, that's the phrase I was thinking of. Yes. So, this is the whole point of our observance of Kartik Vrat, and how we will get some greed, and how we can continue. It is not just that, okay, Kartik is finished, now we go back, we can have eggplant and tomatoes and honey and sesame seeds and urad dal and all these things. That's okay, but we have like banked something in our progress to get prem, so that more greed can come in our heart. And there is such a nice kirtan by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Srila Prabhupada used to quote that, it is said that he was quoting another acharya who had said that the songs of Srila Narottam Das Thakur are as good as Vedic hymns. I never understood this before. But what is this? And this is one that Srila Prabhupada used to sing. Gauranga bolite habe pulaka sharir hari hari bolite na yane babenir. When I will sing the name Gauranga, when I will say Hari Hari, when my eyes will fill with tears, when my hairs will stand on end and there will be trembling in my body. When will I have rati? I should have greed for this. It is like a little whack on the head. Why are you not greedy for rati? Ar kabe nitai chan karuna hoibe sansara vasana mor kabe tu chahabe. When will Nitai Chan be merciful to me? I beg. Who is Nitai Chan? Nitai Chan is manifest as Akhanda Guru Tattva. My Gurudev has come as direct representative of Nityananda Prabhu. And when I will get his mercy, then all of my desires to remain in this world will become insignificant. Vishaya Charya Kabe Shuddha Habe Man Kabe Hamaherabo Shri Vrindavan. And then, having gotten this kripa of Nityananda Prabhu and all of my desires, lusty desires, and distractions become insignificant, then I will actually see Vrindavan. I will have darshan of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Rahu Morash Pratana Karaye Sada Narottama Das. When I will have eagerness to understand the literature of Sri Rupa Raghunath, and when I will take the dust of the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Raghunath on my head. This is the desire. This prayer has everything in it. What is missing? Srila Rupa Goswami, we are Rupanugas. We are following in the line of Sri Rupa Goswami. And we will only be able to follow Srila Rupa Goswami in the Anugatya of those who are pure Rupanugas. When we say, such and such Prabhu, it is a very high thing. It is not just the default Prabhu, Mataji, Prabhu, Mataji. No, it means that person who has a high status, that person who is very dedicated in bhajan. Gurudev has said, if we are not chanting 64 rounds every day, we are patita, we are fallen. So it is something we should not be ashamed, but we should feel some shame. We should feel pinched, and we should feel how I can come. We shouldn't become depressed and feel like, oh my God, I'm hopeless. But we should feel that we don't feel hopeless, but we should feel, oh, there is hope for me. There is so much kripa. Emana durmati sansara bhitore Poriya chinu ami. Oh, I am so fallen, my mind is so wicked, I have fallen in this material world. But Taba Nija Jana Kona Mahajane Patai Adile Tvomi. Oh Prabhu, you are so kind. You have sent one of your own very near and dear persons just to help me, to rescue me. So, in these kirtans, this is such a good kirtan to sing. Then we are reminded, even though my situation may be very hopeless, but so much kripa has been given. One of Bhagavan's own associates was sent. Oh, Ramana Manjari, please go help these persons. They need help. Oh, what good fortune do we have? What good fortune do we have? How can we count it? So we can hope against hope. And this completion of Kartik Vrata is another big brick that we have removed from the wall that is keeping us from achieving the goal of human life, which is prema. And so that is the best way that we can move forward. Go Premanande Hari Hari Go. Any questions? Tungi Didi, I request you very humbly, yes, you also should say something.
Please.
You have heard from Gurudev and for a long time, and we want to hear something from you also.
Okay. So, this night, okay, what we used to do on this night in Vrindavan, we would have, after the, like, Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Mat there in Seva Kunj, the air was filled with mustard oil smoke. Like, everything, like you had your like eggplant like deep fried in mustard oil, and everyone's like, oh, I love mustard oil. I have a little bottle here that now I get to pour on. But on this night in Vrindavan, what they do, all of the temples around Vrindavan, they do special shringar of their Thakurjis. So then in the evening, we would go mandir to mandir to mandir to mandir. And Seva Kunj, anyone at Seva Kunj remember what goes on there?
Yeah. Robin Damodar.
No, in Sevakunj. It's special.
Tell us.
Everybody comes there and they do like a lot of bhajans. There's a lot of musicians, a lot of people. They can't even walk in there. It's so many people.
Yeah. But what's the shringar?
I don't kind
Oh my God, it's so cool. It's all fruit. Everything is made out of fruit, like everywhere. Special little designs and decorations. It's just so amazing. So this night was really, and I don't know if anyone caught darshan of the moon tonight, because tonight's what, the big super moon?
Yeah.
It's it's already high in the sky now, and it's smaller and lost its luster now, and you can't really, there's not a flat horizon like over water, but where I'm coming from on west coast of Florida, unbelievable as the moon comes over the bay, like huge and red and kummed out. Anyway, so I just wanted to say also that this Damodar. So Yashoda Damodar, Radha Damodar. So our Ishta Devata of this month, and every time, is she who binds Krishna with her braid. So during Ras Leela, as they're dancing around and round, and then her braid like whips around Krishna's torso and binds him, and he can't get out. Okay, that's one type of Damodar. Another type of Damodar is when Kishoriji embraces Shamsundar with her arms, and he can't get out of that embrace either. Okay, and another type of Damodar. Anyway, there's so many different types of Damodars. But this is who we're meant to, Yashoda Damodar, yes, Dandava pronouns. But Namo Radhikaya Twadia Priyaya. So this Damodar who's bound by Kishoriji is the Ishta Devata together, Jugal Kishore, bound by her is this. And then of course another binding, you have the joking that the gopis are bound in 3 areas. Well, when Krishna binds the gopis are bound in 3 areas, but hearing the sound of Krishna's Venu, they become unbound from that. And those bindings are 3. Their hair is tightly bound in braids. Their cholis are tightly binding their chests. And their waists are tightly bound also with their mekalas. So they're bound in 3 places. But those 3 places become liberated by Mukunda. That's the meaning of Mukunda. And that is the real meaning of moksha or liberation, to become unbound in those 3 places. So yes, meditating on all the bindings that's going on. It's kind of interesting. But another thing that I wanted to mention too, Urjeshwari, right? So she is Urjeshwari. This is Urja Vrat. And actually, this is the month where so many of Krishna's leelas are compact into these 4 weeks. So many killing of asuras. But who's actually killing the asuras? Shakti Man is just Man, without Shakti Man. But if you have nothing to man, that means nothing to possess, then you're 0, not a hero. Okay? So without Shakti, he's 0, he's not a hero. So Shakti is actually the power that kills all these asuras. And there's actually leelas where Kishoriji is directly killing all of these asuras, right?
Yes.
In some Purana, which one?
Brahmavarta Purana.
Yeah. So another thing also, anyway, in Brihat Bhagavatamritam, the joke, right, between the Sakis, Shama Sundar thinks he's like the cat's meow because he's like lifting Govardhan, but I won't tell the rest of it. It's in Brihat Bhagavatamritam. It's a matter of bhajan, not anyway. So very funny. They're very, very funny. But what I wanted to say also was when you asked what are the two stages of Raganuga Bhakti, and then you talked about Jataruti, Rati, Ajatarati. I actually said Ruchi, Jata Ruchi and Ajata Ruchi.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Raganuga Bhakti and Vaidhi Bhakti are different from beginning. Like some people have this understanding that first you do Vaidhi Bhakti, at some point a miracle takes place, and then you're a Raganuga Bhakti Bhakta. But actually, no. Raganuga Bhakti from beginning, and here's how it is. That there are two train tracks, and they're actually not 2 tracks on one train. They're actually 2 entirely different train tracks and 2 entirely different trains going in 2 different directions. They're different from the beginning. So the defining feature of Rag Marg is Ruchi, actually. It's Ruchi. So if someone is just coming into the Sangha of Vaishnavas, they haven't done any sadhana, can we say they have Ruchi? But yet, can they be considered a Raganuga Bhakta? Yes, they can, and here's how. Because in the beginning, there's 2 different tracks. Someone who has an initial ruchi, it's an initial ruchi, that when they hear Braj Leela, it could be any kata, it could be Yashoda Damodar, it could be the Radha Damodar. Oh, I like that. I want to actually be able to do that too. I want to be able to bind Shama Sundar too. This is actual ruchi, initial stage ruchi, and then from there they begin on their path of practicing Rag Anuga. So the ruchi that happens later is actually the ruchi that makes it real Raganuga. And here's why. In the stage of Nishta, one is steady in their practice. But at the stage of ruchi, there comes a taste. And only when there is a taste for your practice can it be called Raganuga Sadhan proper. But until then, because Raganuga and Vaidhi are two entirely different processes leading to entirely different destinations, it's like a Raganuga 101, right? Raganuga 101. So now why is ruchi a defining factor of Raganuga? Because unless you have a taste for doing something, you're not going to be propelled further, right? And in ruchi, there's two types. There's ruchi for bhajan, ruchi for your practice, and then ruchi for bhajaniya, which is the object of your practice, which is Jugal Kishore. So the ruchi for bhajaniya is thicker than the ruchi for bhajan, right? So actually, there's in the path of bhakti, bhakti is the path, bhakti is also the goal. So is there any prem, even though there's no proper prem in the material body, is there any prem in the heart of the devotee at the stage of Shraddha? Yes, because Shraddha is prem in an immature state.
Yes.
Smallest denominator.
Yes, that prem becomes more mature with sadhu sangha. It becomes more mature as bhajana kriya. It becomes even more mature as nishta. It becomes even more mature as ruchi. And then a sakti is, oh, excuse me, I got that totally mixed up. The ruchi is in bhajan. A sakti has two, a sakti in bhajan and bhajaniya. Okay? So at the stage of a sakti, when you start to have an attachment, a sakti means attachment generally. When you start to have an attachment for the bhajaniya directly, Radha Krishna directly, that becomes Raganuga. That's even more thick because Raganuga Bhakti literally means doing anugatya of the ragatmik bhaktas. Okay? So until we have an attachment directly for Jugal Kishore and their parikars, Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, etc., Roop Manjari, Rati Manjari, etc., then actually it is still an immature Raganuga because we're not doing direct anugatya of Brijabasis. You see? So this is why there's like these two distinctions between pre-ruchi sadhana and then post-ruchi sadhana, and then pre-rati sadhana and post-rati sadhana. At all of these stages, it's prem bhakti, but thin, thick, thicker, thickest, and then stirred around and becoming very condensed, like condensed milk. So that's just the thing.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused about saying that we're not doing Vaidhi Bhakti versus Raganuga Bhakti. Can you explain that more?
Yeah, Vaidhi Bhakti leads to Aishwarya Mani Bhav.
Then why are we told to do Vaidhi Bhakti in the beginning stages?
I've never been told that. I think again, it's the thing between this term vidhi and vaidhi. So Vaishnavas have Raganuga Bhaktas do vidhis. Raganuga Bhakti is a sadhana, it's a practice, it's a vidhi. It's a vidhi, that means like a practice.
Okay,
But it's not vaidhi. You hear what I'm saying?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's a practice, there's vidhis, but it's not vaidhi bhakti.
I think there's also a problem that sometimes there's like a little fuzziness in terms of the name because devotees are allowed to think that we're doing Vaidhi Bhakti in the beginning because someone has come right off the street and they don't know anything and we tell them, okay, chant Hare Krishna, follow 4 regular principles, get up for Mangalarti, do this for a few years and that's, but really it's not Vaidhi Bhakti. It's not regulative devotional service. It's just starting out looking like that.
Vaidhi Bhakti is based on fear. It's based on fear. So if your bhakti is fear-based, and to the extent that it is fear-based, then you can call it Vaidhi Bhakti.
Well, yes, I mean, that's my understanding. Like, until we come to the point that we're doing everything that we're doing out of pure spontaneous love, then it's not Raganuga.
No.
There's Raganuga, I don't know, I'll say it's a bhav, it's a vibe. If your intent is Raganuga, it's Raganuga Bhakti, but you're doing vidhis. And the people who do the most vidhis are the Raganuga Bhaktas. Like, for example, it's very common in India. Like, Vaishnavas will not waste a single moment of time. I'm sorry, this is the common mantra there. I'm sorry, Didi, I have to get back to my smaranam. And then they close the door, and then smaranam with harinam. And it's always this, it's always, I'm sorry, I can't talk any longer, always looking at the time. Don't want to waste so much time chatting, you know. This is how so many Vaishnavas are in India. They're Raganuga Vaishnavas that are doing, like, their vidhi is on point. Their vidhi is on point. Their practice is on point. So I think it's very interesting because who was the sannyasi in New York? Who was he? What was his name?
Which one?
Romapad?
Yes. Yes. So I remember it, I have to just share this. It was like I was 19 years old or something, and I was taking a Madhurya Kadambini class at Pennsylvania Farm.
Oh, I was there.
And he was giving it. And he was giving Madhurya Kadambini, I remember this so clear. He was telling this thing about Vaidhi Bhakti at the stage of Bhav. He literally said, at the stage of Bhav, your Vaidhi Bhakti will turn to Raganuga.
Yeah.
I said, how is it possible?
Because it'll come like a rasgulla.
Listen, I said to him, I said, Vaidhi Bhakti in millions of years, millions of births, cannot give rise to Braj Bhav. How can it be said that, you know, at this stage of Bhav, somehow you're going to automatically have Raganuga after cultivating Vaidhi all this time? Then he said to me, he says, well, this is, you know, he said, well, what would happen then? What happens at the stage of Bhav for a Vaidhi Bhakta? This was in 1989, before I met Gurudev. I said, at the stage of Bhav, the Vaidhi Bhakta develops Vaikuntha Bhav, not Braj Bhav. You're not going to get Braj Bhav ever from Vaidhi Bhakti. And then also, it's also explained that this mixture of Vaidhi and Raganuga and this and that, well, there's Dwarkadish for that. There's also a planet of Golok that's in the Golok sphere where there's Radha and Krishna that look like Braj Radha Krishna. They have 2 arms, they don't have 4 arms. But they're worshipped in the mood of Vaidhi. So there's these, yeah, opulence. Aishwarya means opulence, like Aishwarya Roy, the most beautiful Bollywood actress. Anyway, so confused, my God. And teaching Madhurya Kadambini, like it was just unbelievable to me. So then he was silent after that. So there was no understanding that Vaidhi Bhakti produces a completely different destination. You know, and a mixture of Vaidhi and Raganuga also produces a different destination. And only if you're totally on point with the intent of entering into Braj Leela under the Anugatya of Manjaris, do you actually reach this destination of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It's impossible, actually impossible. So.
Yeah, so Srila Prabhupada, yeah, I know we have to end. Srila Prabhupada does mention Raganuga Bhakti in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's not a lot of mention, but he says it has to be done under the guidance of the Guru. So this emphasis is on Anugatya, and that's pretty much all that he says. So he never got to really guide us in that. But this was, if you read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's no question. There is no place anywhere in the Gaudiya Vaishnava line where anyone is doing Vaidhi Bhakti. In others, like, okay, maybe in Vallabhacharya, maybe in others, certainly in Madhva, in Ramanuja, it's all Vaidhi Bhakti. But in our Gaudiya line, you know, Krishna is saying, devotion weakened by knowledge of my opulence does not attract me. It does not attract me. That is not, so that's not what we're doing. We're not doing Vaidhi Bhakti.
Just, I don't know, fear to logic or something. I was told in LA by seniors initially, like, there'd be different things I was doing, and I was told, okay, you have to do it this way. You do have to do Vaidhi Bhakti at first. It's just what I was told. You do have to do it at first. After you've memorized these parts of RT or whatever it is, then you can go into that mood, but the motions, the outer motions will stay the same.
But this is what Didi is saying. This is Vidhi. This is not Vaidhi Bhakti. This is Vidhi. And there's actually so many rules and regulations. So they're given a little bit at a time, not to overwhelm us, you know? And Srila Prabhupada said this. If I told you all the rules at once, you would faint.
So with a vocabulary issue, they were calling it Vaidhi, but it's actually
Yes.
Vidhi, and I never did Vaidhi.
Yes.
It depends, you may have done Vaidhi and you may be doing Vaidhi, it depends on you.
I've never done.
Yeah, it's the intent. The thing is the intention and the anugatya. The intention and the anugatya. But I would say that I remember they were very confused on this. They were so confused.
You can make a whole book of all the
Yeah.
confusions.
Is it possible that this could be our this Sunday class, this topic? And then we could go on
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
on and on? But it's getting late.
Yes,
let's
we
go.
should end here, but I hope this is made somewhat more clear.
Yes. Jai Radhe.
So this Sunday,
Yeah, for you, for you.
I'm not confused about a separate
Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Yeah, yeah.
Call it. You or you?